Billionaires come and go, but none of them will ever be as cool as Bill Gates. Currently the fourth richest person in the world with over 130 billion in net worth. Bill is so rich that the word billionaire starts with his first name. He was the first person to ever reach a $100 billion club back in 1999, and kept the title of the richest man in the world for more than a decade. Gates has lived a pretty lavish life, and now he's going through a divorce. He might see a little bit of his wealth being divided, but it will still leave him with enough money to lead a life most of us can only dream of. From owning massive real estates to Da Vinci's historic artifacts. In this video, we're going to be looking at the technocratic and lavish lifestyle of Bill Gates. Let's begin. Even though the likes of Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk have taken over the reins, Bill Gates is still one of the most important people. However, he wasn't always like that. Born on October 28, 1955 in Seattle, Washington, Bill was destined to be one of the most inspiring personalities in history, and also live a life filled with successes. But it's important to know how he got there, and believe me, it was not easy. While Bill Gates has had to work hard to become what he is today, his story isn't exactly a rags to riches one, as he was born into a wealthy family. Gates was a bright student and performed well academically, especially mathematics. And this was exemplified by the 800 points that young Bill Gates scored in the mathematics part of an intelligence test. In 1970, at the age of 15, Gates and his friend and partner Paul Allen went into business together, developing TrafoData, a computer program that monitored traffic patterns in Seattle. They netted $20,000 for their efforts. Gates enrolled at Harvard University in the fall of 1973, originally thinking of a career in law. Something just tells us that he would have been a damn good lawyer. Gates spent more of his time in the computer lab than in class, and at one point in college, Gates and his friend Paul Allen had their school computer privileges revoked for taking advantage of software glitches to obtain free computer time from the company that provided the computers. Much to his parents' dismay, Gates dropped out of college in 1975 to pursue his business, Microsoft, with partner Allen. A few years later, Gates developed another software and earned $30,000 from it, and this was the start of Bill Gates' journey to $1 billion wealth. In 1975, Bill Gates and Paul Allen co-founded a software company and they named it Microsoft. At first, the company was in financial crisis, and this is mainly due to the use of some pirated software. However, the two owners did not lose hope as they launched MS Basic, which helped them to make a profit of $50,000. They changed the name to Microsoft too. That's all one word. In 1979, IBM, one of our American multinational tech companies, launched the world's first personal computer and offered Microsoft to develop a program for it. In 1980, the two companies signed a contract. Legend has it that at the first meeting with Gates, someone at IBM mistook him for an office assistant and asked him to serve coffee. We can't blame them. But soon this coffee boy was to become the richest man in the world. In the next 4 years, Microsoft took over the computing world, as 30% of all the computers run on it. He became a billionaire on paper in 1986, and not even a decade later, Bill Gates was worth tens of billions of dollars. Since 1987, Gates has been on Forbes' list of the richest people in the world. That was also the year where he met Melinda, who he got married to in 1994, and in 1999, he was the first person to cross the $100 billion mark in history. It might seem a bit unimaginable to control such monumental wealth, but Bill Gates has plenty of investments, possessions, and real estate to spend his billions on. Gates Mansion. It makes sense that Bill Gates would live in a world-class mansion. His Xanadu mansion exceeds expectations for its unbelievable luxury. Not only is it gigantic, but the mansion features an artificial stream outside and a huge pool that has indoor and outdoor sections, plus an underwater speaker system. The mansion boasts 7 high-tech bedrooms, 6 kitchens, and a trampoline room the size of an entire sky-high building. Bill Gates spent $63 million on the house, and much more to incorporate all of the decor, making the mansion worth $127 million overall. The estate's got a trampoline room, which Bill Gates told the Jenners his 3 kids will love. But the best part about the house is the digitalized artwork. As the founder of one of the largest tech companies in the world, it makes sense that Bill Gates would want to live in a futuristic home dripping with high-tech luxuries. One of the most unique aspects of Xanadu is the computer screens that add up to $80,000 in almost every room. These can be moved around by pushing a button. Every painting and photo hung up in Bill Gates' house is able to be changed at a whim. How cool is that? In 2017, he paid $1,041,292.55 in property taxes on the house, according to public findings. Private jet. Although owning a private jet may seem like a necessity to other billionaires, Bill Gates reveals that he feels like it is one of his guilty pleasures, instead calling the $40 million expense his big splurge, even though it is still quite necessary. After all, rich and famous men are bound to have enemies, and the safest option is to be secluded and surrounded by security at all times. His plane of choice is a luxurious Bombardier BD700, which seats up to 19 people and offers top-class service, food, and entertainment on board. Other residencies. Owning a huge mansion is not enough for billionaires, so Gates went on to buy a soft spot for rural vacation spots perfect for family vacations. He spent $18 million on a gigantic 228-acre horse ranch in California, featuring an ocean view. The ranch used to belong to Jenny Craig, known for her programs focused on dropping weight. The place has 5 barns, an orchard, a vet suite, a racetrack, and a guest house. Other than that, Gates also has purchased a whole island named Granbogue Cay, located in Belize. It is a gorgeous tropical paradise with forests, white sand beaches, and some of the clearest water you can find. The island has a $25 million value. If Bill Gates and his family want to have a beach party, this island will be quite handy indeed. Not sure how many people will make the trip just for the party though. Would you go there to party with Bill Gates? Artifacts. By now, you must know that Bill Gates is a fan of history and everything expensive. The Codex Leicester may very well also be the most breathtaking historical artifact he owns. It's a collection of scientific writings by Leonardo da Vinci himself in the Renaissance age. No other person deserves to own it other than Gates, who reportedly spent $30 million on it. In addition to that, Gates is also the proud owner of Lost on the Grand Banks artwork. The painting is much desired in the collector community as it was one of the few marine works created by the artist Winslow Homer. The oil canvas art sold for over $30 million, and Gates keeps it at his Xanadu mansion as part of the mechanical rotating art display. Car collection. Gates' mansion is famous for cars having garages big enough for at least 23 cars. It's perfect for Gates, who's an avid luxury car collector. He loves Porsche. His first big splurge after founding Microsoft was a Porsche 911 supercar. Gates later sold it and it was auctioned off for $80,000. But that wasn't Gates' last Porsche. He also has a Porsche 959 in his car collection. Other cars in his collection include the amazing Porsche 930 Turbo, Porsche Taycan, which is also the first electric car in his collection, and a Ford Focus. At different times in his life, he has also had cars like a Mercedes, Lamborghini, and Ferrari, but he sold them off when he got too bored and too old. Unlike other billionaires, Gates likes to keep the things he can use. Philanthropy. Gates lives a pretty lavish life, but that doesn't mean he doesn't give back to the public. In fact, Gates is the biggest philanthropist in the world. Gates' splurges are only a fraction of his massive fortune. He previously told The Telegraph, "I have no use for money." Instead, he often donates it or invests the money for good causes. Bill and Melinda have funded mass vaccination programs to fight diseases such as polio and TB, as well as research into the holy grails of health, vaccines for AIDS. His organization has the sole responsibility to remove polio and malaria from the world, and they are spending millions of dollars each year towards the cause. Bill set up his charity to honor his late mother, Mary, a teacher who encouraged him to begin his philanthropy. She died of cancer in 1994, but not before penning a letter to Bill and Melinda saying, "For those to whom much is given, much is expected." Now we know where Bill's philanthropy comes from. He's also agreed to give away most of his fortune through the Giving Pledge, which he launched in 2010. The Gates family has spent a lot of money traveling for their charity work. They donated more than $2 billion in 2016 to causes related to global health and development and US education. In 2017, they donated $4.78 billion, mostly to projects run by the Gates Foundation. Throughout 2020, the Gates Foundation was active in the global COVID-19 response, pledging $100 million to help fight the pandemic. A major portion of those funds were used for vaccination development, which is now literally saving the world from a global pandemic. Bill Gates is literally changing the world around him. In 2017, it was revealed that one of Gates' firms had invested $80 million into the development of a smart city near Phoenix, Arizona. The proposed city, named Belmont, will create a forward-thinking community with a communication and infrastructure spine that embraces cutting-edge technology designed around high-speed digital networks, data centers, and much more. Now that Melinda and Gates are getting a divorce, Bill might see his wealth go down a little. The couple in their post said that nothing will change in the organizational structure, and they will work together through the foundation to make the world a better place. Normally, after a divorce, the wife gets to keep the house, nicknamed Xanadu 2.0. But in this case, Melinda Gates will likely let Bill Gates keep his dream house, as she's previously expressed doubts about the home, as well as her wish to live in a smaller house. Ms. Gates told the New York Times magazine in 2019, "We won't have that house forever. I'm actually really looking forward to the day that Bill and I live in a 1,500 square foot house. Whoever ends up getting it, we just hope that the couple never stop being amazing humans."
Don't forget to click the first link in the description to learn how to make $10,000 a month online.
That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. What do you think about the divorce? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.